going to read the story, Splat the Cat and the Pumpkin Picking Plan. As I read, I'm going to pick words that the author chose and put it in this column right here. And then when we're finished reading, I'm going to add to this column and what I know about the words that I chose. And then at the end, we're going to paint a picture using those words. So let's get started. We always start at the title, and it's Splat the Cat and the Pumpkin Picking Plan, written by Rob Scotton. Autumn was one of Splat's favorite seasons. I'll help you rake the leaves, Mom, Splat offered. Thank you, Splat, Mom said. Splat was good at raking leaves. Seymour helped too. Soon they'd made a huge pile. Splat stared at the pile. Suddenly he had a great idea. His tail wiggled wildly. I wonder what his great idea is. Splat! Leaves went flying everywhere. Look at him, he jumped in that huge pile. Splat's mom sighed. I have an idea, Splat, she said. Why don't you go to Farmer Patch's pumpkin patch? You can pick out a pumpkin to decorate and put on our porch. Splat thought that sounded like a great idea. I'll pick the most perfect pumpkin ever, he promised. I wonder what kind of pumpkin he's going to pick. Splat grabbed his wagon, and he and Seymour set off on their way. Splat loved Farmer Patch's pumpkin patch. There was so much to see and do. He saw a very scary scarecrow. Look at that scarecrow. He got lost in a hay bale maze. He tasted fresh apple and fish cider. Fish cider? Ugh. Then Splat remembered. He was supposed to pick out the perfect pumpkin. The perfect pumpkin should be big, orange, and round, he told Seymour. I can use those words to help me visualize the pumpkin. So I'm going to write them right here. Big, orange, round, let's see if we can find any more. He found a pumpkin that was very round and very orange. Too small, he announced. Look at that little pumpkin. The next pumpkin was big and orange. Not round enough, he told Seymour. Seymour found a big, round pumpkin. Not orange enough, Splat said. Splat's tail wiggled wildly with worry. Would he ever find the perfect pumpkin? But then Splat spotted another pumpkin. It was round. It was orange. It was the biggest pumpkin in the place. I wonder how big it is. I noticed his face is surprised. Oh my goodness, look at that pumpkin. Perfect, Splat cried. Mom will love this one. But there was one problem. How was Splat going to get the pumpkin home? This won't fit in my wagon, Splat said. I know, he said. I'll roll it. Look how big that pumpkin is. Look at that little, I guess that's Seymour. Splat rolled the pumpkin out of the gate. He rolled it on the road and down a hill. Whoa! Splat cried. Splat ran. The pumpkin rolled. The pumpkin wouldn't stop no matter what Splat did. Help! Splat cried. I noticed he looks really scared. I wonder if he's going to fall off of it. Wow! Splat could steer the runaway pumpkin with his feet. He steered over the bridge and in between cars and right through his front gate. I noticed he broke that fence. I wonder if his mom's going to be mad. Finally, the pumpkin stopped. Splat's mom smiled. Oh, Splat, it's perfect, she said. Well done. Splat smiled back. It was no trouble, he said. No trouble at all. I guess she hasn't seen that fence yet. Okay, so now let's go back to the words we chose in the book. So the words that the author used were big, orange, and round. Now after reading it, I know that that's the words that Splat used to describe the pumpkin he was looking for. So what do I know about big? Well, I know that big is not small, so it's going to be a big pumpkin. So I'm going to put not small. And then orange, I know that the color is going to be orange, so it can't be yellow and it can't be green. And then round. I know that round usually means circle. So I'm going to draw a circle. Now, what do I see in my mind? So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to use those three words, big, orange, and round. And I'm going to think of that huge pumpkin and I'm going to take a picture of it. Okay. Now I'm going to draw what I saw in my mind. And what I saw in my mind was a huge pumpkin, and we're going to pretend that this pumpkin's orange. And then I saw Splat on top of the pumpkin. That looks like a silly cat, but that's okay. And then we're going to pretend this is orange, and I might even label it just so I can remember that this is Splat and this is pumpkin. And I don't know how to spell that word pumpkin, but I know it starts with a P, so I'm going to put P for pumpkin. So I used the words that the author used to help my visualization in my head. I know that the words that we chose meant not small and it meant round. And what I saw in my mind was a huge pumpkin with Splat on top.